Hello, Happy New Year! We are going to read together in A Course in Miracles. This year, I have for years done the videos of the lessons, and this year I am being directed to read the text. I initially read the text, which is on my YouTube channel, of this edition, the complete and annotated edition, which was original material restored from the earliest manuscripts and footnotes, cameo essays, and introductory material by Robert Perry by the Circle of Atonement. So I originally read this, and it's on my YouTube channel, ACIM Read Together, I think, or Read With Me. Sorry. I have a group called Read Together and a page called Read With Me, and my YouTube channel is ACIM Read With Me, and this text is on my YouTube channel already, the text in its entirety. And it took a year, and I did it with the group, which they do yearly. So I believe they're starting again in January if you're interested in that. And there's commentary, etc. I am a true believer. I love to hear commentary and input and other people's thoughts and opinions about A Course in Miracles because it does help me, but I'm a true believer in getting through it and having it revealed to you, which it is revealed by other people as well, but having it revealed to you as you read it, as you absorb the literature. So I will give you a little background on myself. I was first introduced in to A Course in Miracles via Marianne Williamson, like so many others, in her book, A Return to Love, which was a very easy read. If you haven't read it, I would certainly suggest reading that first. It may be a little bit outdated, but not really. I mean, none of the principles can be outdated. So, A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, that was given to me by a friend in 2003. And when I read that book, I found truth. Truth was, I couldn't put it down. It was my Bible. And I was very intimidated by A Course in Miracles. And it was given to me. I did not go out and buy it because I was so intimidated by it. So although I held on to the principles, and I feel like I found my path through Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love, in 2003, A Course in Miracles was actually given to me late 2006 by my cousin Danny. And he gave me this book. This is my original that he gave to me that it looked like somebody gave to someone else. It has beautiful little notes in here from someone else who owned it previously. So this is my original, which is, I cannot use it. It's all tore up. It's not in any order, but it was my original, which I received in late 2006, and I started the lessons on January 1st, 2007, and I've only skipped 1 year of doing the lessons since then. So this year, it's really come to me that I need to be more in the text. And I'm doing this, I'm putting it out in the world because it helps to hold me accountable, okay? So I feel like I'm accountable to you, but I'm being accountable to myself. So it's a commitment I am making to myself to put this out in the world. I was going to do live videos, and I would love to form a group if anybody's interested in that on my page, because I think we have 45 members in ACIM Read Together on the Facebook page. It's a private group. I would love if you would all like to, and I'm a leader by nature, but I can certainly step back. I'm not trying to control anything. I do this because it helps me. I do this so that I'm accountable. I am not doing this to try to get any fame or I'm trying to keep my ego. I share my pictures and my videos, which I'm not, my picture videos, not of me, but of the lessons that I've worked on for years as well. It's A Course in Miracles is so important to me. I just want to get it out into the world. So I started doing it in 2007, skipped 1 year since doing the lessons. Of course, I've read the text multiple times. And I really, of course, the lessons all stem from the text. So I feel like the text, I would like to be more absorbed in the text this year versus the lessons. I am far from, I'm completely and utterly human in this world. And I have a hard time holding on to this. I work full time. I'm a manager. And it can be very stressful sometimes. We expanded and opened a second practice last year. And this year now we're consolidating the practices in the newer location. So it's just one thing after another. And we've went from like 5 employees to 14. So it keeps me very busy. And we have 5 English bulldogs. I'm married to my soulmate. Special relationship. He does not practice A Course in Miracles with me, but he practices it through me, if that makes any sense. It kind of rubs off on him, and he tries to have an open mind about it, but he's very, very supportive, and for that I'm very grateful. We have a lot of fun, and that's what I feel like we need to do. We just have fun, love, have fun, practice the principles in A Course in Miracles. And I need a lot of practice, okay? And I also want to incorporate meditation, because meditation is so important. And we can, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but this is day 1 of the new year. So I would like to go ahead and start reading. And I do need my glasses for this, if I can find them. Are they on my head? That's where they usually are. I don't know what I did with them. Okay, they're officially lost. Okay. I can do it, but it'll be a little more difficult. I thought I brought them in with me. Okay, you don't need to see all this. So I'm going to stick to the edition that I started with, which is by the Foundation for Inner Peace. And it's the combined volume, okay? And I will start today. Oops. All right, let me try this again. Still didn't find my glasses. Combined volume. I've read with the camera facing the book and on my face, and I've had it expressed to me that it's preferred to see my face. I don't know why. I like reading. I think you can read them when I do it with the camera on the text. I feel like it's readable. Okay, A Course in Miracles, combined volume, 3rd edition. Foundation for Inner Peace. Excuse me for squinting. Oh, no. I'm going to have to get my glasses. Okay, I think I've come up with somewhat of a good plan. It came to me while I was searching for my glasses, which I desperately need when I saw the size of the text. I think I don't want the videos to be very long, like extremely long. So why don't we keep it simple? I will read the lesson, maybe not getting into the lesson. Like, I won't read the whole lesson, but I will read the title of the lesson, the first paragraph of the lesson. And we can meditate on that. I hope that you'll do the lessons on your own if that's your calling, if that's what you're guided to do. But I'll go ahead and read the first paragraph of the lesson, and then we can move into a meditation, and then I'll read the text. I think that sounds like a good plan. I will not get into the lesson, but it'll give us a good start to our meditation, which is about meditating on the principles of A Course in Miracles. So I think that would be good for me. If you have any suggestions or you want to change anything, of course, you don't have to watch this, but I would love to hear any suggestions as well. Anything you're guided to do. Oh, about these videos, I started doing them. I started making videos. My husband's friend was going through a difficult time, and I suggested to my husband to talk to him about A Course in Miracles because he was having a difficult time forgiving. So, and I'll tell you that really, that aspect of A Course in Miracles, which is, we all know it's all about forgiveness, has really helped my husband as well in his personal life. So, all that being said, his friend lives in North Carolina and we are currently in Florida. And I suggested it and I said, well, why don't I'll read the lessons to him and send them to him. And that's how it started. And that was probably 2015. And I've been doing videos every year since. I might have taken a break once. So my channel, my YouTube channel, ACIM Read With Me, goes back for years. If you do a search, you can find lessons in, I think, 3 different formats. So maybe I did skip a year. I read the text 1 year, did the lessons 3 years, I believe, 4 years maybe. I started to do them last year, and then I reverted and focused more of my time on my videos and pictures, and I posted my old videos. And I don't want to do that again this year. I need to be accountable, and this helps me tremendously. So that being said, let's get started. So we'll go ahead and read lesson 1. And if you'd like, go ahead and close your eyes, because I will read the title of the lesson or the first paragraph of the lesson and then lead us into a meditation. Lesson 1. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. Now, look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This hand does not mean anything. This foot does not mean anything. This pen does not mean anything. I don't have a pen. Then look farther away from your immediate area and apply the idea to a wider range. That door does not mean anything. That body does not mean anything. That lamp does not mean anything. That sign does not mean anything. That shadow does not mean anything. So go ahead, close your eyes. Nothing I see means anything. Go ahead and inhale for a count of 2 and exhale from your mouth for a count of 4. Now inhale for a count of 3 and exhale for a count of 6. Now let's go ahead and inhale for 4 and exhale for 8, and we will do that 3 times as well. Now let's come to our senses. Feel what you feel in your body, any aches or pains, tightness. With your eyes closed, see what you see. Go ahead and taste what you taste. Honey bun or toothpaste. Hear what you hear. What do you hear the closest to you? And what do you hear the furthest away? And last but not least, let's go ahead and inhale deeply and smell what you smell. Let's go ahead and move into a silent meditation using as your mantra, nothing I see means anything. Nothing I see in this world means anything. In this room, in this house, nothing I see means anything. Nothing I mean, nothing I see means anything. Nothing I see in this room means anything. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. I will probably go longer on the meditations as time passes, probably up to 15 minutes. I didn't want to start that today because I know this is going to be a long video, with it being my first this year. So I also realized I was a little sidetracked. I tend to get that way. I'm trying to record this without retaking, as you can tell with all the bloopers. So it is what it is. None of it's real anyway. I'm not going to highly critique it, and most of the time I probably will have my hair like this and no makeup. So I usually will do this in the morning before I exercise. That is my plan. Although on occasion it will be at night after work. So I wanted to say that once I found A Course in Miracles for myself, I was so protective of it because I was always searching for God all my life. I belonged to every religion. Every church. How about that? I was searching for God and truth. And this is the first time it rang true to me in its entirety. Like there was no question. So I would go to groups sometimes, and then, sometimes when you go to groups, you see egos clashing, and there's leaders, and then most people don't talk. And it just wasn't for me because it was like being at church. So I realized this is an individual journey, and I don't want to preach, or I may share some experience, but I don't want to preach at all or tell you what you should or should not do. Or this is about letting the text open up to you in a personal way. It even states that in the text, which we will get to. So I try to avoid groups and commentary and opinions about the text personally, because it's perfect just the way it is. And when there's power and when there's ego involved, that's not what the text is about. So I hope I kind of wanted to explain why I won't be putting my commentary out there too much. Does that make sense? Although you may be able to relate to it, it's just, for me, I will share if I'm inspired to. If I'm led to share, I will share. But to me, it's not about my opinion. It's about the text opening up to you in whatever way that is meant to be. Okay? Of course, I will. If you have any questions, all I can answer is from my experience and from my truth, and that you will get. And I will be happy to share. So many people have such beautiful experiences out there. And I do love reading that, and I love my family, my ACIM family across the world. I love everyone. So I'm just so grateful for Facebook and that we're all connected the way we are. It's so beautiful. Okay. Preface. This preface was written in 1977 in response to many requests for a brief introduction to A Course in Miracles. The first two parts, how it came and what it is, Helen Schuckman wrote herself. The final part, what it says, was written by the process of inner dictation described in the preface. So I'm going to go ahead and just read how it came today since I'm rambling on. How it came. A Course in Miracles began with the sudden decision of two people to join in a common goal. Their names were Helen Schuckman and Bill Thetford, professors of medical psychology at Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons in New York City. It does not matter who they were, except that the story shows that with God, all things are possible. They were anything but spiritual. Their relationship with each other was difficult and often strained, and they were concerned with personal and professional acceptance and status. In general, they had considerable investment in the values of the world. Their lives were hardly in accord with anything that the Course advocates. Helen, the one who received the material, describes herself: psychologist, educator, conservative in theory and atheistic in belief. I was working in a prestigious and highly academic setting. And then something happened that triggered a chain of events I could never have predicted. The head of my department unexpectedly announced that he was tired of the angry and aggressive feelings our attitudes reflected and concluded that there must be another way. As if on cue, I agreed to help him find it. Apparently, this course is the other way. Although their intention was serious, they had great difficulty in starting out on their joint venture. But they had given the Holy Spirit the little willingness that, as the Course itself was to emphasize again and again, is sufficient to enable Him, capital H, to use any situation for His, capital H, purposes and provide it with His, capital H, power. To continue Helen's first-person account, 3 startling months preceded the actual writing, during which time Bill suggested that I write down the highly symbolic dreams and descriptions of the strange images that were coming to me. Although I had grown more accustomed to the unexpected by that time, I was still very surprised when I wrote, "This is a Course in Miracles." That was my introduction to the voice, capital V. It made no sound, but seemed to be giving me a kind of rapid inner dictation, which I took down in a shorthand notebook. The writing was never automatic. It could be interrupted at any time and later picked up again. It made me very uncomfortable, but it never seriously occurred to me to stop. It seemed to be a special assignment I had somehow, somewhere agreed to complete. It represented a truly collaborative venture between Bill and myself, and much of its significance, I am sure, lies in that. I would take down what the voice said, and that's in quotation marks, and read it to him the next day, and he typed it from my dictation. I expected he had his special assignment too. Without his encouragement and support, I would never have been able to fulfill mine. The whole process took about 7 years. The text came first, then the workbook for students, and finally the manual for teachers. Only a few minor changes have been made. Chapter titles and subheadings have been inserted in the text, and some of the more personal references that occurred at the beginning have been omitted. Otherwise, the material is substantially unchanged. The names of the collaborators in the recording of the course do not appear on the cover because the course can and should stand on its own. It is not intended to become the basis for another cult. There's your answer. Is ACIM a cult? Its only purpose is to provide a way in which some people will be able to find their own internal teacher. That's it in a nutshell. Its only purpose is to provide a way in which some people will be able to find their own internal teacher. And I am going to stop there for today, okay? And if this takes longer than a year, that's okay. I don't want to rush through it. There's no hurry. One day at a time, right? So, with that, I thank you. I will probably open up and start with a prayer, as I do in all my other recordings, and you'll learn it by heart if you follow me. So, and thank you. Thanks for joining with me. I'm excited. I'm excited about this new year and this new venture, and I'm grateful. I woke up. I'm asking Spirit to show me what I should do, and I don't want my ego involved as much as possible. So here we are. I love you. Have a beautiful day, and thank you for joining with me. See you tomorrow.